all touristy. It'd be all touristy. I like it. It's got a room. Oh yeah.
Well, no, maybe we have to do it at park.
Probably don't, but.
We'll do it at park.
Let me go on. I'll be on. Let me see. Let me go because I think I have. Oh, that's closer. Oh,
Head
okay.
down.
Like that.
Yeah.
Look up in the upper left-hand corner. Not at yourself. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. We can do it again. Yeah, it's all blurry and weird. Oh, it's overlapping. Is it okay?
Yeah.
It's all overlapped and every on other faces. I kind of looks cool. Let me have my arm though.
It's kind of.
Let me have
Well,
my
you
arm.
only took one. Did you take more?
Oh yeah.
Look at the rest. Took one.
Oh, I guess I didn't. Oh, I laughing. Yeah. Ah, it's cute though. Looks like you're laughing. It's more like. Let's do another one. Do another one. Do another one. Sorry, baby. Okay. There we go. Plus the lights change, so we'll get different pictures. Oh, it's on a timer. That's why. Oh, it's on a timer.
Oh man.
I never learned. Oh, what is that? Why is that? I don't know why it's on a timer. Okay, now it's not. There you go. Ready? Let me frame it. There you go. Right? More. Right, more.
Hold it down a little bit.
Right.
Alright.
Alright. Go. From there. Here we go.
Wait,
Right?
I gotta get
I gotta post it yet. Maybe next week or something. Eyes closed. Okay. Ah, you're so cute. You look like so random. And you're adorbs. You're so nice. You're so pretty. shove it in there and leave it. Is it the right way? I got it. You got the whole out. Invalid card. What?
I don't think I have two
I
copies.
think no, I think we're good. We're good. Thank you.
Man.
I know. Well, I mean,
I really don't. I should not be
you
doing
don't always
that.
have to just because it's like there.
I know.
Yeah. It's probably a good thing. He's like, okay. She's probably like, what is wrong with you guys? Like, you guys, Furry's like wanted to strangle us. She like froze there a minute with a fake smile and stared.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
okay,
like,
okay, old weirdos.
next door and see if anything happens.
I like your troubleshooting. Good troubleshooting. Look at you. Someone already is better than most to help us. Hello, Laura. Your card information is being found.
Is it really?
Hello, Laura. Your point balance is 348. 100 points equals one slot. Your point balance is 0. 100 points equals one slot. No, I'm not reading everything that I just read. Wait, is that the same game? Let's give it now that it's all been looking at. Alright. Valid card reader. Alright, help him on this one. Look at it. This is like the start of any good like success story. You know, you go through all the struggle.
go. Okay. Massive stack of tickets. Oh, he's got a check.
You got to check.
Alright, crashy Audi. $4.
And change.
You're checking the plane up.
Oh, I should. Even more new and improved and more puffs.
One? Is that like 8 cents?
Surprised they let that be a thing where it expires so soon. You know, when there's a reasonable expectation that they'll still be around, and plus they still be liable anyway. It's like really weird. I get you want to make the casinos happy, but come on, man, you can't get that shit like that.
Right next to it.
Alright. Oh, shit. I know. Hey, you're in charge. You are the slot picking boss. He wants to like make it up to us.
Oh, we gotta look it up.
I like this. Like it's super zoomed in, and I was just kind of slowly moving around like Vegas. What were we saying?
We gotta look at those dumb houses.
Yeah, we do. These things toys. We have mono, chocolate, bear claw. I see you. They'll always be good to be here. You're the caveman. You might swear. Damn it, to something like that. I can.
Especially in certain lights, because they're like kind of white translucent hairs.
They're so big, they're so thick.
They're super long. Yep.
Noise. Noise.
See?
Whatever. You're offering it for slabbage like that. It's like,
Not what was happening.
basically, you were asking for it. So just enjoy it. There you go. Really? Prove your side again. The other side. Now spin me around. Now you yank my skin off.
What?
Now you yank my skin off with
I
tweezers.
did not give you come off. Just shave it.
Alright.
With a razor.
Right.
Suppose I should take a few out of our video here.
Take the what?
Hey, shaving cream? Just go zip.
Well, I figured, no, I got the razor out. I figured I'd just do a full shave right now because I hardly have any, and I don't do it tomorrow morning, but. Trust me.
It could just light off, otherwise it's steam and reflection slightly.
I'm gonna close the door.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. Eliminate all light so you can for those shots.
Behind it in my face, even with all of my
Really?
What?
You can't even
Crop
take out
out.
everything off of this. Oh man, look at that. That's tray balls.
Again, what if your computer? You put the photos on here and you can look at them on there.
I don't think we're doing really good like that. Oh wow, it's still transferring things over, huh? That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. Literally freezing, like you can't move two things at once. God, did it actually freeze? It's so annoying. How are these freezing? This is like not a big task to ask. What is going on my computer? Not good. Alright, let's control alt delete, I guess. Wow.
And was sentenced to death.
You had left it farther down.
Knows the channel. I just pressed it. Okay, dumbass.
How does this freeze my computer just moving two things? Like, I guess it can't multi-thread. I should have moved one thing when it's moving from the SD card. Alright, that's a flaw. Now I gotta terminate shit all the time for nothing. Alright,
Up next,
cold stop.
a young boy witnesses a terrible crime.
He was jacked. He's been tired. He is retired and everything.
The chief suspect virtually turns himself in. He appeared exactly like the composite sketch.
We have him, no alibi.
He was not that color.
Failed to tie him to the crime.
I couldn't believe they'd let him walk to possibly do this to somebody else.
Could forensics provide the answer?
I think yes. I think only yes. You never know. You could throw your curveball. Anyway. You're like, son of a bitch. Still.
Park in Delaware was home to 32-year-old Kay Robinson, a single mother living with her 11-year-old son.
Laurel is a farming town, and a regular working class person lives there.
One night, around 2 in the morning, Kay was awakened by someone banging on her front door.
She went to the door, looked out the window, and see this stranger.
It's difficult to tell. It does not appear to have an outdoor area.
They needed a ride. They used
That's a bummer because it's only
Kay refused to
$17.50
let Wilson inside.
for 3 beds, 2.5 baths,
Mm.
1,497 square feet.
911, and the Delaware State Police did respond, but didn't see anything out of the ordinary, so they cleared the scene without any further investigation.
This one is a townhouse, though.
Thinking everything was all right, Kay went back to bed.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
A half hour later, she was awakened again by a noise in her kitchen. That's when she saw the same man she had seen on her porch in her kitchen, holding a butcher knife. He chased Kay through the house, grabbed her by the arm, put a knife to her throat, and told her to follow his orders. If not, he said he'd kill her son, who was in the adjoining bedroom.
Jeez.
From that point, little she could do, it was just completely 3 hours
Oh,
of
hell
torture.
yeah, to this one.
Horrific torture that she endured.
What?
After sexually assaulting her, the man
Jesus,
told
just say
Kay that
assaulting.
he lived in the same mobile home park.
Look
that
at this
had 2
outside
children.
area.
Then he stabbed her
Damn.
almost 30 times
Jesus,
and
dude.
left her for dead. Before leaving, the perpetrator checked
Washer,
on Kay's
dryer.
son, who pretended to be asleep.
3 bedrooms, 2 full baths.
When the man left the house, Kay's son rushed to their neighbor's house for help.
911, what's your emergency? If my next door neighbor has been robbed and she's been stabbed. It sounded like they wanted to take her.
The one that says the take-home pay has to be a minimum of $5,700.
Just like some of that is like, what are you talking about?
Several times in her back. It was over 25 times. And her neck was cut basically from side to side. As Kay was rushed to the hospital, paramedics noticed that her attacker had drawn a smiley face on her back in her own blood.
Jesus
The smiley face is one of those chilling details of a crime scene that seems to serve no purpose other than to sort of mock or demean the victim of that attack.
You have to know that this person is very sick, very violent, and possibly a serial
Guess we'll
killer.
still put this one on the list.
Miraculously,
Well, tell me when you're ready for me to give you the address.
times, Kay survived.
When I woke up, I didn't want to be there. I was furious. I was on life support. My throat was cut. And I
Hey,
had 10 to 15 different
survived.
places. I basically felt like he was trying to decapitate me. I felt like I was in a horror movie.
They didn't sever her carotid artery or her jugular vein or spinal cord so that she would have been paralyzed or anything like that. She's extremely lucky.
It was a bad
Just
day.
unbelievable. A miracle
So
in
it was
my
a
book.
bad day.
And I think everybody felt that way.
Kay not only survived, she said she'd be able to identify her attacker if she ever saw him.
He didn't blindfold me. I was making myself remember every little detail that I could about him, right down to the length of his fingernails.
All police had to do was find him.
Aiden called. He did? What's your phone size? Oh, I faked it. I faked real sex. Welcome to my version of Happily Ever After.
Old Bronny now has 3 plies.
That's lit.
Baby, you're 40.
Only Bronny has 3 plies. It's new and it's stronger than Bounty. Wrong. Some of the strongest.
People love how the new Homes.com helps them get quick answers about any problem. I'm getting great exposure!
Speaking of exposure, can we get him a hat?
Ooh, what about Bray?
Oh, bingo!
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
When I started Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I didn't know how to turn all this fancy prettiness into a classy looking logo. But GoDaddy Hero does, with its magical AI powers. It not only creates it, it slaps that sweet thing everywhere.
Fill your potatoes. Oh yes. Fill your eggs. And pasta. Hello, creaminess. Philadelphia, a creamy touch of magic.
Bipolar 1 can overwhelm your mind. Sometimes depressive lows and unpredictable highs can make it hard to get out of your
Are you
head.
looking at Zillow?
Trying
Finding
to
relief can help you break
make me
away.
hold the button
Ask about
and
Vraylar.
confirm I'm
Some medicines
human.
don't treat the lows or
Maybe
highs.
it's gonna be
Vraylar treats
I'm
depressive,
human.
acute treatment, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults. Proven full spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms.
Vraylar isn't approved for elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis due to increased risk of death or stroke. Report changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts to your doctor. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death, weight gain and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slow or uncontrolled body movements, restlessness and feeling like you need to move. Sleepiness, nausea, vomiting, and indigestion are common. Side effects may not appear for weeks.
Vraylar, breaking through to relief. Ask about.
Discover the thrill of Las Vegas. Experience Mystere
Oh.
at Treasure Island.
This house was built in 2022.
Possibility with
I was thinking like 1922 when you were saying that. Like, it has friggin' horse hay place. Words. Why try again? Okay, I bet you it doesn't like that one a bit.
It has an outdoor area that just has no fence and it's just like wide open to the sidewalk.
For me,
No.
as a plus size woman, shopping.
Here,
is
take
fun.
our
Then I found
amazing space.
when I wear women
Damn it, the rest of the place is so brand spanking new.
From jeans to shoes, they have everything I need. These wedding shop.
Nope. I say that one's no bueno.
No more
Not good?
I'll have to look at the pictures to confirm, but that one is outdoor spaces. I don't care about a community park.
Kay Robinson will never forget the look on the man's face who mercilessly stabbed her over and over again.
He was asking, "Are you dead yet, bitch?"
Oh my
And
God.
when I tried to reply, and he continued stabbing me with even more force, I knew right away that I was gonna have to pretend to be dead.
This is a very brutal crime. And the way it happened, the random way it happened, the horrific way it
Yuppers,
happened,
this one's being
made
edited.
everybody start feeling a little bit uneasy and a little bit unsafe.
The intent was to kill. It was not to wound, it was not to leave a mark, it was to kill.
The attacker did something police found highly unusual. He left the bedroom light on throughout the attack. So Kay was able to watch him over an extended period.
Sicko.
From her description, police artists created a composite sketch which was released to the media. However, they didn't tell the media about the smiley face drawing the attacker made on Kay's back.
It was not part of any press release, therefore this would be something that would only be known to the attacker or be familiar to the attacker.
Kay also said she made a mental record of everything he touched. The man took pains to wipe off his fingerprints, but Kay thought he might have overlooked one of the items, a blue glass.
He drank out of the glass, and then he made a point to take his sleeve and wipe the prints off of the glass, but then grab the glass out of his hand and set it back on the table.
There were several prints on the glass. Or even melt.
What's that have to do with the fact that I said, duh, it's Milano o'clock?
Oh, no. It's
Temper in the freezer was actually to said
I thought you said it was like 1 o'clock or like, meaning like it's late, let's go.
at some point.
And now it's still processing like 1 o'clock. Is that a big appointment? Like what?
Prints were lifted and photographed.
It's 9/11, 9/11, 9/11.
Police were called again to Kay Robinson's home, this time by her neighbors. They said a man drove up to Kay's home, lit a candle, and got down on his knees to pray.
He was very concerned that the person who attacked Kay Robinson be apprehended. He wanted to go for that and to witness the
38-year-old Bud De Silva. In his truck, taped to his windshield, he had a newspaper article about the case with a copy of the attacker's composite sketch.
When he was asked about that, why he had that, he said that so that he could drive down the road and look for the suspect and keep his eye on the composite at the same time to try to find someone that looked just like that.
But someone did look just like that. Doug De Silva. De Silva lived 100 miles away, but his ex-wife and daughter both lived in the same mobile home park as Kay Robinson.
God bless America.
A year earlier,
American
he
dream.
was a suspect in the murder of a 16-year-old girl at a nearby high school.
Oh, they got bless America thing on the trailer for
Police
thing
brought
like.
De Silva in for custody. The interrogator did something very odd. He asked for his job application because he said he wanted to become a state trooper.
We thought maybe he might even be talking to us about it. We were very suspicious of that.
Police put together a photo lineup, and Kay Robinson identified De Silva as the man who attacked her.
It was more like an internal reaction. So with the physical appearance and that, I was very confident that that was the person that attacked me.
And Kay's son also identified De Silva.
Where's your charger?
The man actually came in and he was able to see him on
Hey, Nicolas
but he
Cage.
was asleep. So he was able
Oh,
also
my
to
man
look at
person.
the person. But he was able to also identify him in the photo lineup.
When De Silva completed his job application to become a policeman, he turned it in. That's when he got the most bizarre thing ever.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Experience murder.
Take your vitamins right now.
Okay.
document, and that had the same chilling effect on the investigators.
Oh no way! The same bloody face he drew. What the fuck? He has his own trio guy.
Since this detail hadn't been released to the press, investigators were certain they had their man.
Wow, that's creepy shit.
He never did deny that he was involved in the Kay Robinson case. He made several statements that he was sorry for what happened to her, wanted to apologize for what happened.
But investigators and Kay Robinson were in for a big surprise.
I took them lamely, like, ugh. I had to like psych myself into swallowing them because not without any saves.
You took all 3.
Yeah, once. Like, my God, why? President, I mean, I don't. Just why?
Just booted up my computer.
You should have. I mean, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I'm not making it up. I'll use different browsers. Let me try different browsers. This is the one I've been using.
Thanks for
Eyeballs of the eyes.
wholly delicious experience that's, well, wholly Hershey's.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Things.
Do it all with Steel battery. Don't miss Steel
deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
My moderate to severe Crohn symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now I have Skyrizi.
And now I'm back in the picture. Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi helped visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And with Skyrizi,
Dude, what is going on here? Why do I keep holding? I'm not a bot and try again. Like, what the fuck is this about? Have you started using a different browser? Like, Jesus, what are you doing with your cookies, man? You're using too many cookies and it's overthinking. It's like just a not a bot. I don't even have my like. Oh my God. Make sure I kept my VPN off. Let me see.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
All right, let me try it again with that VPN off again.
Great pair of lungs. Shame about your swollen gums. You need Parodontax, clinically proven to help reverse all signs of early gum disease. The gum experts.
Ain't called. You did? We had phone sex. Oh, I faked it. I faked real sex. Welcome to my version of happily ever after.
What? Stop spoiling me.
Gay.
But not.
Gay. It's so gay that even it's super straight, whole bags. It's gay. Alright. Let's see, what was I looking for?
Just 2 weeks after Kay Robinson's vicious attack,
Hey,
she
I'm on the
identified
site.
Doug De Silva as her assailant.
I'm on the site.
From the photo lineup, I was
Are you
very
ready?
certain. I wanted to hear him say something, to be sure that that was him.
That's your
When I heard him speak, I thought that that was the person that was in my home.
Let me go back to the other browser
De
now.
Silva had no
Not if this one
alibi for
worked,
the
maybe
night
this
of
one
the
will work.
crime.
Because then your information's saying on
As a detective, that Doug De Silva was the right person.
De Silva was arrested and charged.
I think so, yeah, that actually is a good idea.
I don't think so.
He said to tell her I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I remember going there, but I don't remember stabbing her.
Wow.
To me, that's a confession.
But then came the bad news. De Silva's fingerprints did not match the prints taken from the blue plastic glass in Kay's home.
The fact that we didn't get any fingerprints that matched Doug De Silva's from the scene never led us to believe that he wasn't the suspect, because a lot of times we don't find any fingerprints.
And perhaps the worst piece of news was that De Silva's DNA profile did not match the evidence collected from Kay Robinson's rape kit.
DNA evidence is conclusively ruled
I
out.
remember going there, but I don't remember stabbing her.
Wait, did I? No, I didn't stab her.
Did I stab you?
Extremely shocking. It was like somebody
Ouch.
punched me in the stomach.
This was devastating. The investigators, the prosecutors in the case, were just flabbergasted. Did not know what to do.
In fact, they ran the DNA test twice just to make sure. Again, the DNA didn't match.
And at that
Okay,
point,
what's
we
the
can't go
address?
forward with the prosecution of Douglas
Okay.
De Silva.
Even though the DNA
The
report
first one is
said that this wasn't the person that broke into my
256
home, I was still convinced
Fenestra,
that it was. I couldn't believe they'd let him walk to
F-I-N-E-S-T-R-A.
possibly do this to somebody else.
So Kay decided to take matters into her own hands.
I bought a gun. I found where he lived. I went to his house. I sat outside of his home. I wanted to go to the door and knock on the door.
Go, girl.
I just wanted to take care of it myself.
There you go, girl.
Yeah.
Oh my
The primary reason was my son. I wanted to raise my son. I didn't want to be in jail.
But if De Silva wasn't
Yeah.
the perpetrator, a violent sexual sadist was walking the streets, and police had no new suspects.
I will never be able to understand why a man who was innocent of a crime allowed himself to get so close to the crime and allowed himself to become so suspect.
You go back through your investigation, because then you start to doubt yourself a little bit. Did I miss something? Did I overlook something?
Laundry.
Years passed. with no solid leads.
The longer we worked, the colder the case got.
Oh my God, never seen storage like that before. Like, oh, he made full double wall storage. And that was heaven. There would be nothing out. Everything would be hidden. Give us locks on that shit too.
Look at that.
1995 case with Kay Robinson.
The Maryland victim is a single mother living in a mobile home.
A palm tree.
Too bad there's not a little thing there, but to make it perfect, like what are you doing? A shade opportunity? But that could be installed. Oh my God.
12. To hurt her if she gave him what he wanted.
The man tied her up, sexually assaulted her, and carried on a lengthy conversation.
So map it, will you?
Her son's life. The man's demeanor changed.
He begged her for forgiveness, and then he gave her some directions to not get up until a certain time and take a shower. And then she was allowed to go to work, but not to call the police.
The man's point of entry, a broken window at the front of the house. 43-year-old Mark Eskridge was tied to that crime for his fingerprints.
The known standards on Mark Eskridge were identified to the latent prints that were recovered from the glass from the point of entry from the crime scene.
The Kay Robinson case is similar in many ways. Single mothers in a trailer park with a son, early morning hours, lots of conversation. A knife was used in both.
And
Map it in
Eskridge
Hidden
looked
Valley, will you?
similar to the composite drawing of Kay Robinson's attacker 9 years earlier. Unfortunately, Eskridge's fingerprints did not match the prints on the drinking glass found in Kay Robinson's home. And Kay Robinson
Okay.
said Eskridge
That one's on the list. Now we'll look at the next one.
would this be
Yeah, I want to see what it looks like from above.
Are there still things left to be found in the world?
Oh, God.
We're just getting started. This is history right here.
You not want to see?
What? Come here.
Season begins with Hitler's America Bomber next Wednesday at 9 on Discovery. Fill your
Oh, what the hell? Why is she on
fill your eggs and pasta. Hello, creaminess. Philadelphia, a creamy touch of magic.
Oh, it's a cemetery, mortuary here.
Okay,
Boys and
but-
Girls Club. Hey,
Sorry.
what's the address?
Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning. Or
7683 Hampton
let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan
Park
Wealth
Lane.
Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like WealthPlan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Are you guys ready?
12 miles.
Here we go again.
Into Durango.
Whoa.
Yes, sir.
2.5 miles.
Wow, we have to walk to Durango. What is
Now do Mandalay.
I want to see the street view. If there is one.
It's Swedish.
Oh.
That's a whole rabbit. Name's Food.
It makes
Well, there's
food.
really no need for
Oh, look at it, it's got on there.
Not when America's number one motorcycle insurance got you
It's
back.
got covered space there. Oh, single car garage. Oh,
Yeah.
Nice landscaping now.
I have type 2
Oh, look at that. That's super covered and like crazy. Wow, there you go. Come on, people. Let's pull up a Trudy covering.
Alright, look at the place that we're staying at. Yeah, let's see little plantsies in the front.
All right, what do you want to see?
Do you want to look at the photos of that one?
Serious side effects including
Just no, whatever you want to look at.
I'll look at the photos for it on Zillow.
nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, trouble breathing, or increased ketones. Jardians may cause dehydration that can suddenly worsen kidney function and make you feel dizzy, lightheaded, or weak upon standing. Genital yeast infections in men and women, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, or a rare life-threatening bacterial infection between and around the anus and genitals can occur. Call your doctor right away if you have fever or feel weak or tired, and pain, tenderness,
Oh, it is
or
that
redness
one.
in the genital
Oh, I thought it was the other one.
is allergic to Jardians. Stop
Oh,
using
weird. It
this
says off market on there.
Call your doctor if you have rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. You may have increased risk for lower blood loss. Call your doctor right away if you have new pain or tenderness, sores, or
ulcers or infection in your legs or feet.
There's a bunch of photos online.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Pain is fast, so get relief fast. Only Tylenol Rapid Release Gel. Fast pain relief. And now get max strength topical pain relief precisely where you need it with Tylenol Precise.
Mark Eskridge was the prime suspect in the rape and attempted murder of Kay Robinson after he committed a similar crime in Maryland.
Moreland.
A background check revealed that Eskridge, who was married and had a small child, lived in the same mobile home park as Kay Robinson when the attack occurred.
He lived in
So it's
fact
this
just
one
a
right
few
here.
streets away.
It's still
from
off
Kay
market.
Robinson.
Oh,
He
you
may
just want
have
me to see
had the opportunity to observe
Well, that's
her,
coming from her,
know
so
that she
I don't know if
resided
that
in
means that's more
her house
accurate than
with her
Zillow.
son.
Maybe they're just not paying for Zillow, or they have to pay for Zillow,
I don't know.
or they took it off Zillow.
Kay Robinson was unable to identify Mark
I
Eskridge
believe
as her
an
attacker.
agent that it's on the market, so.
That was back
But then again, they might not know, or they don't know. It's weird, they shove stuff in spaces, or maybe you could have just done a desk there, maybe, and that connect.
Eskridge's appearance. Fortunately, investigators had the DNA of
Like
Kay
in the floor,
Robinson's
there's a
attacker.
double Z
And when
thing.
they compared Eskridge's
Right.
DNA to the
Nice flooring,
biological
double Z's
sample from Kay
again.
Robinson's rape test kit,
Seven
investigators
Z's.
finally
Looking
got the
closet.
answer they'd been waiting for.
When I received the call that the DNA was a match, I couldn't believe it. I was overjoyed. I couldn't wait to call Kay Robinson.
Nice.
I went through a lot of emotions. I thought, oh my God, I'm glad I didn't
see
kill
that.
Silva because it would have been the wrong guy. But, I mean, he could have been his twin. They were identical.
Investigators believe Mark Eskridge targeted Kay Robinson since they lived in the same mobile home park, and he probably knew she was a single mother living alone with her son.
Yeah, I want to get just like an internal alarm system, like when the gates open, I know, and stuff like that. And stuff like that. And make sure you close the gates just so it'll beep, and I can't work them on.
Right. I'm gonna do that one related to Mandalay Bay.
Later that night, he broke in and attacked. He told Kay that he lived nearby because he had no intention of letting her live. He attacked her repeatedly with a knife. Kay Robinson's will to survive was
8
too great.
miles.
I still had a life to live. And I wanted my life back. And I was going to take it back a piece at a time.
Eskridge left valuable DNA evidence
Okay,
behind,
one more to look at.
more reliable than any eyewitness. A decade after the crime, Mark Eskridge was on trial for the sexual assault and
James
attempted murder
Regional
of Kay
Sports Park.
Robinson. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison, plus 20
Amanda
years.
Trails Park.
Authorities cite the case as a reason to be skeptical of eyewitness identifications, especially when the witness is under extreme duress.
We have an eyewitness identification.
Sierra Vista
which
High
is
School,
as
is that
certain
one we saw
as
today?
certain can be.
I don't know.
But we have science.
Sounds
and
familiar,
DNA
yeah.
evidence telling you otherwise.
Doug De Silva's bizarre behavior and his equally
Hospital
bizarre
here.
resemblance to the actual attacker
Alright, what's the other one?
almost landed him in jail.
98
Doug
Golden
De Silva's
Aria.
whereabouts are unknown, even to his ex-wife.
It's still very, very strange and very puzzling as to why Doug De Silva had evidence, why he introduced himself into the case.
The trouble is somebody's gonna get caught, or you're gonna catch him. It's just, you don't know when sometimes.
So I just think, hats off to BMS for a great tool. In this case, to be able to free one man, convict another, I say that's a lot of justice.
16 miles. Are you napping it too?
Could this defendant
Oh,
be a
wait.
professional in? And was the victim's lifestyle to
To the
blame?
other place, maybe.
We'll find new photographs. What role is she playing?
But the evidence points in a different direction.
Oh no, Mandalay Bay, 16 miles.
The
can be very lucrative. 42-year-old
On the water
Bob
park.
Bosley
It's
started
north,
a roofing
is it?
business from scratch in his hometown of
I guess it's
Alexandria,
west.
Kentucky, and grew it into a multi-million-dollar operation.
Still south.
Probably love to help
Should we
people.
see the place
There
itself?
was a woman that needed some repair work on a roof because it was bad weather, and she was more or less worrying how she was going to pay for it. And he told her, "Ma'am, it's Christmas. Merry Christmas. Don't worry about it."
Bob and his wife Amy had 2 small children and lived a very comfortable life.
Sorry.
He was very well off. He had nice cars,
Blurries. That's good.
loved boats. He had pretty much all the toys that anybody could want. Until one night,
Cul-de-sac.
something happened that changed their lives forever.
Okay, now look at the Zillow.
Shortly before dawn, they woke to find an intruder in their bedroom. Shots were fired, and the intruder fled.
Someone is breaking into our house and my
And we're changing the lock somewhere we move in. And another expense. I think I'll do it myself.
The intruder who was still in the house.
No, I can't trust him.
Nice kitchen, right?
There was a loud thump, and suddenly Amy wasn't on her end of the phone anymore.
The 911 operator called Amy back.
Oh my god.
It took
Oh, I
police
see.
only minutes to get to the scene. We found Bob.
I'm gonna respond with those 3, okay?
Wash your dryer, laundry. The rest of this pictures don't seem like too eventful. It just doubles these things.
Yeah.
Amy's
Hard
clothes were
floors.
torn, and there were
Nice
abrasions on her
kitchen.
chest and behind her
Crazy
ear.
outside.
The children
front.
were unharmed in their bedrooms.
The most horrific part of this crime to me was the fact that it was committed when children were in the home.
Amy described the assailant as a white male, about 5 feet 6 inches tall, 100 his face. She also said he smelled of urine and had a speech impediment.
The house appeared to be ransacked. There were kitchen cabinets open. There were pills that had been strewn all over in the bathroom.
On the bedroom floor were shell casings from a 9mm handgun. It appeared that the killer entered the house by breaking a window in the back door. We were looking for something that could have been used to break that window open. Then investigators found something intriguing.
When we find nude photographs in a safe of a man who's married, he's now deceased, it's something we have to look at. Who is this person? You know, why does he have nude pictures of her in his safe? What role does she play in this?
The photos gave investigators
Blurring out her butt because she's got thongs on. Look at her thongs on her. Like, oh my god, it's hilarious. Blurring out her butt. Like, dude, you make your actors be full butt naked for like dead murder pics.
I know. Weird.
There's no bikini butts.
Maybe they wanted it to be blurred out because she's not a model or actor being in it,
Or they're still alive.
Yeah.
Can we afford a safari? Great question. Like everything, takes a little planning. Or put the money towards a down payment.
Enough room for a baby.
Babies.
Baby.
Let's take a look at those scenarios.
JP Morgan Wealth Management has advisors in Chase branches and tools like Wealth Plan to help keep you on track. When you're planning for it all, the answer is JP Morgan Wealth Management.
The new bike is officially protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer. You can now safely go wherever the wind takes us. That's right. It was one of those books that smelled bad, but in a good way, you know?
Okay.
Nope. You do without me. You don't and I aren't on speaking terms. Apparently the refills are limited. It's not okay.
Well, I have pickleball courts. Right by Central Park pickleball courts, according to their map. I just showed you.
website and social content so I can let the world know. See, goggles ain't goggles. They don't know.
Goggles ain't goggles. They don't belong on your noggin.
Ronnie Three Ply?
Ronnie Three Ply?
Three Plies is new and stronger than Bounty. Some of the strongest.
Goggles ain't goggles. They don't belong on your noggin.
Cause unintentional movements in your face, hands, and feet called tardive dyskinesia, or TD. So her doctor prescribed Austedo XR, a once-daily extended-release TD treatment for adults.
Closing this. Okay. Closing this.
Significant reduction in TD movements. And for solid response as early as 2 weeks. With Austedo XR, patients save on mental health meds.
Austedo XR can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, or have suicidal thoughts. Don't take if you have liver problems, are taking Rocurgine, tetrabenazine, or valbenazine. Austedo XR may cause irregular or fast heartbeat, or abnormal
Xenazine.
fever, stiff muscles, problems thinking, or sweating. Common side effects include inflammation of the nose and throat, insomnia, and sleepiness.
Running out of jingle tunes. Running out of jingles. It's like starting all sound the same.
Really could use your help.
God, now break down even.
Now they can make a darn good living.
The only thing we wrote out at this point is the one. We believe that a subject entered the Bosley residence, was confronted by Mr. Bosley, shot Mr. Bosley, and then exited the residence.
The biggest concern was that there was a murderer on the loose in our county, and we needed to react quickly and find out what happened and where this person might be to make sure that everybody else in our community was safe.
An autopsy revealed Bob had been shot 7 times, but only 2 shell casings were found in the bedroom.
When somebody shot 7 times, and we only find 2 shell casings, there's only one explanation. Somebody picked up the shell casings.
Even though the house had been
Or a cat came in and was like playing around with it. Annoying little fucker that they are.
Amy Bosley told police she thought the killer might be one of Bob's clients or employees.
There's times when Bob has disagreements with people. He's pretty nasty. He's very in their face. You definitely know where he's thinking and what he thinks.
He had a high turnover rate, so if someone was fired from his job and disgruntled it, that would be another area we had to check.
Amy told police about an argument Bob had with his friend Noah Heim just 2 days before the murder.
He had, I think, over $1,000 and he only paid like $200 of it for Bobby's thing. He's real people. You're gonna be friends up.
Noah and Bob grew up together. Bob employed him as a contractor, and Noah served as best man at his wedding. When questioned by police, Noah Heim denied any involvement. He also had an alibi for the night of the murder. Investigators started to doubt whether the killer was someone from work.
He would do anything to help somebody out. One of his workers would come up and say, "Hey, Robert, I'm a little low on money this week." And he would just pull out his wallet, pull out a couple $100 bills, and give it to him and say, "Pay back when we're in a good jam."
Now investigators turned to the racy photographs they found in Bob's safe. Apparently, Bob Bosley worked hard and played hard. Both parties on Lake Cumberland were his favorite escape.
Blared out
He made
bikini,
friends, clients, and lots of young women.
No judgment about your swimwear lady.
One of the women in the pictures. She was 10 years younger than Bob, and there were rumors they'd had an affair. But Darla told police she had an alibi for the night of the murder.
There was no bad blood, there was no reason for her to commit this crime, nor a jealous boyfriend or husband that would have come in and committed the crime because of her.
When questioned, Amy Bosley claimed that Bob did most of the partying, but the evidence contradicted that.
took in the same type party atmosphere that he did. It wasn't uncommon for her to be on the houseboat with other people, you know, in some sort of...
Yeah, but he was organizing, has the boat, probably drinking more.
Bob and Amy's relationship
I wish it
or
means.
marriage. I think that people thought that it was possible that both of them were having affairs.
And when police interviewed the Bosleys' children, who were 7 and 10 at the time, they provided some new information about the night of their father's murder.
Amy Bosley's statement was that the intruder broke in through the back door window. Amy had shot her husband
It should not be that easy.
and then fled.
Just be like, I'm gonna break your back window and open the door. It's like, yeah, that's not fly with me. You can't live in a place where that's like that easy. No. You got an alarm going off or something. You're like, no. Hell no. You know, leaving something to chance that someone feels like breaking in, they're gonna fucking get in. Without me knowing about it? Hell no. Ain't no way that's happening.
Big financial friend.
No jinx, just putting it out there and knocking any jinx away.
Strong
No.
enough to help you push past financial obstacles. So even when you have a big
Actually gonna go to sleep
you have new solutions that can make a big difference.
Probably. At least lay down and be like, oh, that's what I forgot. I was like, but it wasn't uncomfortable because I was tired enough and had a buzz. So I was like, wee, had a lot of beer. I like that Earl sticks all his fingers in the guacamole. Oh!
How do you sleep at night? On a mattress, or I sleep.
That was it. So it's the kind of people that shop at your place that do that kind of shit.
Right.
That people get asked how they sleep at night. I don't know if I want to be included in that.
They do something gross.
Oh.
Your nose is gross.
Oh. So your bed's gross? I feel like they're gross now. They're for gross people, clearly.
The exhaustion. But you also know it can't always be you.
There you go, old man.
We get it.
Old white man, you know. There's the white guy, the old dying white man.
When it's not you.
Everyone else, every other color, everything. But the one old person is like the old white man. No country but old white man.
The entire nest.
Putting more water in your spag.
Yep. Thanks, babe. I put some good amount in last night. Probably dry as F, and that's why it's all gone. Huh? Ah, yeah, they're animated still. Still cute.
Empty water bottle.
They threw the marshmallow away and were eating the stick. Get rid of it. They figured it out. Oh, you take this off.
So you can maximize any vacation from the second you log off. Getting rooftop cocktails at the Cambria Hotel. Need anything, email James. Even better, check into more. Book direct.
For me, as a plus size woman, shopping online. But I thought it
I like donuts and ham sandwiches. Sometimes potato chips. Bagels. I love carbs.
To be fair, what sort of freak you not love carbs?
Identify as an even larger woman, thereby making me thin in real life.
Consider Nano hearing aids. Nanos are FDA registered OTC hearing aids. Don't be fooled by overpriced
Nandor. Nandor hearing aids.
Nano hearing aids are now offering $100 off through this.
Yeah, I totally saw like after he said that Nandor hearing aid. What? Everything's so quiet.
Look at the thing that I had stopped. Oh, damn it.
Old timey video with the battery thing on it. Old timey.
Where I stopped scrolling on Insta. Speaking of Nandor, it's not Nandor, but what we do in the shadows.
Awesome. What does it say?
It says, imagine these two having a conversation. The sheer extraneous number of syllables, the archaic vocabulary, there would be no survivors.
I think it's the other one, yeah. That's awesome. That would be a funny little thing to get together. do a little skit with those two characters. These are things you could do in a lot of lists.
And they're like, New York City. I can hear him saying New York City. And I can hear, oh my God, what is your character's name?
Bottrell compared it to the glass from the broken window at the crime scene, using what's called the refractive index.
Street is her
Index
name.
is a measure of the speed of light through a transparent object.
The glass is placed in a silicon liquid, then heated. The point where the glass disappears is called its refractive index.
The 5 fragments that have the same refractive index as the fragments that were recovered from the door are consistent with having originated from the door.
What's the index on how nerdy you are for knowing all those things? Is there a nerd index section as well? Yeah, where did I put my...
Nerd indice.
Wow. Wait, there's such thing as an indice? It's index.
No, but I think there's another word.
No, indices is plural of index, nerd. Non-nerd on that one.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you just said there's no such thing as.
It's an indice because it's an index. The plural of index is indices.
Investigators found something else.
Indice, I don't think. Maybe that's like some kind of plural. Maybe it's a plural of feminine indices. I don't know what index is. I don't know. Maybe it is. No, curious.
Shell casings, and it was rolled up and shoved to the bottom of a washing machine that was full of clothes and water.
And I thought that we had just hit the pay dirt we were looking for in the case.
Washing machine.
The
And
casing
why
is
don't
from
we
the
just
washing
drive
machine
along the road and throw it out the
compared to
window?
casings
Like, then they
found in the
never
bedroom.
find it.
I looked at the individual
You're
marks.
just
that
gonna
they
put it in
discussed.
a washing machine?
Subs are
Six
dumb.
cartridge cases.
God, they're
Four
dumb.
from the washing
Thank
machine.
God. And you know there's some that aren't dumb and it's
All
fantastic.
6 of these have been fired from
Which is why they don't end up on this show
Mhm.
and they're just out there subbing.
There's seven.
The nightshirt Amy was wearing on the
More subs than a Southside lunch spot.
The shirt that she was wearing appeared to have been torn by the band.
Okay.
Forensic analysis of that t-shirt showed that
First thing that came to my brain. Give me a break. I thought of it after I started wording it, which is normally how I talk.
Not really a clear one. That
Seriously,
was a long
it
shot
really,
there.
as it falls into, it's like it's live streaming for sure. My thoughts, I live stream my thoughts.
Wow.
Sometimes they don't always like catch up when I start the sentence too confidently, assuming I'll have something. Like, yep.
Well, that's like more
You
than
know what I brained.
90% of the time you do.
You know what I brained.
Happens all the time.
When the Internal Revenue Service heard about Bob Bosley's
Oh, you really
murder,
know.
they called prosecutors with a possible motive. They told police that the Bosley Roofing Company hadn't paid their corporate taxes for the last 5 years and owed the government $1.7 million.
You had a lot of money back then.
Amy was the company's bookkeeper.
Amy would
She
withhold the state
kept
income
the
tax,
books.
federal income tax, workers' comp, social security, those items, but it was never sent to them.
But where was the $1.7 million?
I think that's the $1.7 million question. What did Amy do with the money?
The IRS first met with Amy Bosley. Dissatisfied, they later wanted to meet with Bob too, but Amy wouldn't allow it.
The IRS investigator insisted on talking to Bob. So Amy actually got onto the phone and started talking to this agent. She was disguising her voice, trying to sound like Bob Bosley. And what the investigator told us was that it really sounded like somebody acting like Kermit the Frog.
The IRS asked Amy for her business records, and she promised to comply.
she never provided the information, nor did she arrange a meeting between her husband and these agents.
But there was no indication Bob Bosley knew anything about the tax problem.
I don't know, he didn't know about IRS. I think he would really hit a fit if he knew he had owed any money.
She had their income tax returns prepared each year. She actually took them to Bob and had him sign these returns. In his mind, he believed that everything was taken care of.
Amy could put off investigators for only so long. They demanded a meeting with her and Bob for the morning of Bob's murder.
There was no choice. They were coming that morning, and she knew it.
Within a few short hours after her husband had been murdered, Amy had the wherewithal to make a call to that IRS agent. She said, "Sorry, we're not going to be able to meet with you today. Bob's been murdered."
History's been changed. Who are you people?
The Librarians, all in Monday at 9 on TNT. Set your DVR now. Sadly, windshield chips can turn into windshield cracks.
No.
You can go to SafeLight.com and schedule a fix in minutes.
Sweet.
SafeLight can come to you.
The adapter was, I always figured there's a switch on the adapter. I never had to switch that. Like, oh, maybe that little switch is switch the lock or something. On the micro SD adapter where you put it in the regular size. Because there's a little switch on the side. Like, oh, that's why I'm not seeing it. Reboot it for nothing. It's like, because it's locked. And the adapter was locked. Sure.
At Wayfair, we're game for every style.
Let's play charades. I'll let down my favorite chair. Got it. All right, ready?
Yep.
This one rocking chair.
Don't be tough to chase laughter.
This is charades. I'm just compliments.
Well, there's no rule about adding it to my card.
It's a good deal.
It's Daryl's swivel chair.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. Got my first charades.
Wow.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
Rheumatoid.
Arthritis symptoms. But just okay?
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after trying Humira, Rinvoq works differently. Rinvoq is a once daily pill from the makers of Humira that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling as fast as 2 weeks for some. And even at the 3-year mark, many people felt this relief. Rinvoq can stop joint damage, and in PSA, it leaves skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events: infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Ask your rheumatologist if switching to Rinvoq is right for you.
And take back what's yours.
For me, as a plus size woman, shopping is tough. Then I found a woman with men. When I wear women within clothes, I feel confident and comfortable. From jeans to shoes, they have everything I need. Just wearing shop and what you wear. I have no more dressing rooms, just styles I love delivered right to me. And with their woman and shopping credit card, I can remember shop now at 101.com. Use code TVNOW for 20% off your order.
Attention families with a loved one in a nursing home. If your loved one has suffered from bed sores, falls, broken bones, dehydration, or even death, you may be entitled to a substantial settlement.
Switch this
If
back.
your loved one
We didn't have to do that. Let's
we will find out what happened. State violations are found against nursing homes every day. You have a limited time to file your claim, so don't wait. Call 800-375-1633 and speak with one of our attorneys. The call is confidential and free.
Plus free
And they
shipping.
can't come out, they stay up for one more after this, and that is it.
Investigators now believe
Mm-hmm.
that Amy Bosley murdered her husband because she didn't want him to find out she hadn't paid the income taxes for their roofing business for the last 5 years.
Wow.
This embezzlement had been going on for quite some
What's
time.
wrong with
The
you,
figure
lady?
that we had received from the IRS was that
Why?
the Bosleys had owed approximately $1.7 million in back taxes and federal
Wow.
liability.
She didn't want to sit down with her husband and
Dumpster
explain to him
fire.
that the business you spent your entire life building, I've destroyed by not paying taxes. They're going to take it all away from her.
Apparently, Amy
Unbelievable. What a
mistakenly
piece of
believed that Bob's death would take her off the hook.
Dumbass.
Amy thought that because Bob was the owner of the business, that all liability would fall on him, and if he was no longer there was no one to accept that liability.
So if Bob wasn't alive, the chances are that the IRA agents will just quit and go home.
Prosecutors believe Amy panicked when the IRS demanded a meeting with her husband. Instead of telling Bob what she'd done, Amy chose murder.
Wow.
The night
Wow.
before, the
Some people cannot be found out and they
put
be
the children
violent.
to bed and waited for Bob to fall asleep.
Wow, man.
She took Bob's 9mm handgun and shot him.
Jesus. Thank God we don't have a normal like marriage where they're just like, They were all super schmooped.
Although she missed some
We are super schmooped. You don't seem too enthusiastic about that.
that looked like robbery. Broke glass in the
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Then she hit the shelf and
Real nice.
to make it
Non-super schmooper.
prosecutors believe cut the nightshirt, then scratched
Real
herself
nice.
with the scissors.
Just better make it painless and don't let me know you did
She
it.
gave an all-star
Maybe a sad last seconds. Wow.
This morning at approximately 10:45 a.m., the Campbell County Police Department arrested and charged Amy
So I
Bob.
can't see the disc anymore now all of a sudden. Come on, man. This is not appearing now.
We have searched by land, we have searched by air, and we have searched by water rescue. There's a pond out there. We dredged the pond.
I'm thinking of searching by foot and by car. Automobile.
When police looked at footage of Amy Bosley leaving her home on the night of the murder, they noticed that Amy wasn't carrying her pocketbook. Her sister was. After Amy's arrest, Amy's sister finally got around to looking inside. When she did, she found a 9mm handgun.
Her sister did the appropriate thing. She hired an attorney to turn over this key piece of evidence, and that's how it made it to our office.
She was hoping her sister would chuck it in the river or dispose of it.
Ballistic experts compared the handgun to the shell casings found in the bedroom and inside the washing machine.
They all had class characteristics that were like that produced by the Spade pistol.
1 year after Bob's murder, Amy Bosley accepted a plea bargain. She pledged guilty to first-degree murder in return for a sentence of 20 years in prison.
I didn't want the kids on the stand because I didn't want to turn them in more apart than they were.
What did Amy do with the money? I don't know if anyone can answer that except for Amy Bosley. I think that $1.7 million probably went to support her lifestyle, probably went to help buy the big boat, to buy the property in Pemberton County to help build their dream home. I think that over time, their lifestyle might have gotten beyond their means.
Prosecutors believe that Amy Bosley might have hidden some of the money. But where remains a mystery.
I would really love to know who's got that. I would really love to know.
The Bosleys' children now live with their grandparents. Bob's once thriving business died with him. Tragedy upon tragedy, redeemed only by the science that proved who was responsible.
If someone was to actually burglarize a house, they wouldn't take the time to hide the shell casings. They wouldn't take the time to hide the baseball bat. So that just
You don't know what we
right there
do.
would show that she was just lying.
By her own actions, Amy made her children witnesses to their father's murder. That to me is horrific. The mere fact that we would have to use them as witnesses against their mother was appalling. And she did that. She's the one that took us.
Oh, at least 2022. Look at her. She had to kill somebody and she's having a boot. Wow. Kill her husband. That's crazy for money. Damn. What a system. I hope you germ juice this.
Can't seem to agree on exactly what happened.
I did. Alright. I just said I feel you didn't. I did. You jet. Get the remote. Yay, murder TV and hey, we got our own video for ourselves.
That's what Jen told
When he awoke just after dawn, Florence still wasn't there.
He called the resort owners approximately 7:30 in the morning, asking them if they had seen Florence. They said they had not.
The resort owners went looking for her and found Florence's body in the lake and called 911.
There was a death at Waterville, Susan Place supplies, and I believe it's Rose Under as well. What is her name? Rose Under.
When police arrived, they noticed Florence's body was in the lake next to a boat launch. 12 feet above was the deck outside the Unger's cabin.
When I looked up, there was a deck railing from the boat.
No.
The deck railing was broke and fractured out.
It looked as if Florence had been sitting on the railing and it gave way.
No, Waterdale?
Investigators measured the height of the railing and discovered that it was 10 inches below the state building code.
You look at that rail and it's low enough that you think if somebody had been sitting on it, they could lose their balance and fall over the edge. I know that I personally didn't want to sit on it.
The splintered railing led to suspicions it was structurally unsound.
They referred to it as a death trap, and that it was an accident waiting to happen. A person could reasonably piece together someone fell through a railing, hit the ground, and ended up perhaps in the lake there.
Florence's body was transported to the medical examiner for an autopsy. The medical examiner found no drugs or alcohol in her system. He did find evidence of severe head trauma, but the cause of death wasn't the head trauma, it was drowning.
There was plenty of fluid and that was getting salted after evacuation of the water from the lake because she was submerged.
But what caused Florence to fall to her death? Was it suicide, an accident, or something more sinister?
I think it was something way sinister. I think it's something more sinister. It is, a good feeling. Of lies. Librarian of lies.
Only Tylenol rapid release gels that release at bullet holes. They release medicine fast for fast pain relief. And now give Max Straight topical pain relief precisely where you need it. With Tylenol for sex.
Nothing happening. What are you doing, Anna?
Working on my dating profile. Want to see it? I think it's me. Some of them sent gift cards.
Anna, how do you sleep at night?
I took repeated classes. I got enough of them. I sleep next to everything. It's got cooling technology because Nana sleeps hot.
Wow.
So now I sleep.
Eh.
This guy's loaded. Get matched up.
That's awesome. Go on,
I
Nana.
didn't hear the first part of the commercial.
Yeah, she was making herself look like, I think she was basically catfishing somebody. Making herself look like way younger in a bikini. Actually, it looked like her. It was weird. It's probably did AI. They're open shot or. Like it could have been her, you know, like 3 years ago. Current times.
Introducing shower packs starting at $34.99. But I for one am free. What a hotel. And only $250. What? You got one for $155. Check Trivago to compare prices and save up to 40%. It is Hotel Trivago. Worry room spray.
Oh, it's just like you can watch this commercial.
When I wear women-centered clothes, I feel confident and comfortable. From jeans to shoes, they have everything I need. It's really proud to be as confident as I wear. No more dressing rooms, just the styles I love with a great. And with their Woman Within credit card, I can earn rewards as well. Shop now at womanwithin.com. Use code TVNOW for 20% off your order.
Are you on Medicaid and in need of bladder control and incontinence products? Then stay tuned for a free offer from Active Style. At Active Style, we understand your needs and offer convenient home delivery of incontinence products for children and adults. And they may be available at no price tier if you're Medicaid eligible. Our products are super absorbent before that locks away wetness to keep you dry.
If you're on Medicaid, call now for your free sample. What about another line of those?
I was ready for it. Watch your mouth, buddy.
The tragic death of Florence Unger, the mother of 2 young children, was a shock to co-workers, friends, and family.
Unless you've lived through it, it's very difficult to explain. You feel like there's nothing like it. It's unimaginable.
Police at the scene had to consider every possibility. Do you have a suicide? Do you have an accident? Or do you have a homicide? Florence's family ruled out suicide as a possibility.
There's no way that she could have contemplated suicide for a number of reasons. Number one, she would never have left her children.
An accident seemed like a distinct possibility. The railing on the deck outside the Unger's cabin was freshly broken. It looked as if she were sitting or leaning on it, and it gave way, causing her to fall to the boat launch below. But how did the body get into the water? Mark Unger hired a private independent forensic firm to find out why. They concluded that with Florence falling 12 feet from the deck, the momentum of the fall carried her forward from the point of impact.
They produced 5 different scenarios, computer animations that showed different ways that Florence could have possibly ended up in the water.
The forensic firm concluded that Florence's death was an accident. But the medical examiner completely disagreed.
Well, you do not balance? That's number 1. She would have been rendered unconscious on armed contact and unconscious. Just walk into the water.
And Dr. Dragovich noticed that the blood stain on the boat launch was nearly a foot in diameter.
For blood to go to that size, to the diameter that we're talking on the cement platform, the body would have had to bend there for a period of time.
To find out how long Florence would have laid there bleeding, Dr. Dragovich examined slides of her brain tissue. He focused on the neurons, a cellular communication system that controls movement, memory, and emotion.
Dr. Dragovich discovered repair proteins in Florence's brain that were released after her head injury. This showed that Florence's brain was struggling to survive long after she hit her head and before she drowned. Dr. Dragovich estimated that Florence was lying on the cement for at least 90 minutes, possibly for as long as 2 hours before she was in the water. And there was other conflicting evidence. The blood stain on the boat launch and the broken railing above did not line up.
The trajectory of where she wound up on the deck was not in line with where the break in the railing.
To see whether the deck railing was structurally unsound, analysts tested an unbroken section of the deck railing using what's called a load cell.
The load cell is more or less a scale. It's a series of springs and sensors, and it measures compression and tension.
Florence weighed 110 pounds. To simulate her sitting on the railing, analysts attached a bicycle seat to one end of the load cell. To the other end, they attached a T-bar, to which they applied 200 pounds of pressure. The railing didn't buckle or break.
Somebody from the lab made a comment, wow, 200 pounds. So we knew right then and there that any plan to paint the rail is rotting and dilapidated, wasn't gonna work.
It was beginning to look like the scene had been staged to look like an accident. It was a charge Florence's husband, Mark, adamantly denied.
People that knew Mark said Mark was not a killer. Mark would not do that. That he loved Flo, that he loved his family, that he would not do anything like that.
Mark had no criminal history, and his children said they heard nothing suspicious on the night of the incident. No argument or fight between their mother and father. Mark continued to maintain his wife's death was a tragic accident. But Florence's family believed this was murder, and that Mark was her killer.
Method, opportunity, motive, no alibi, and last person to see them all. Classic reasons for murder. He had them all.
Perfecting your swing is hard.
Nice shot, Dad.
But replacing your windshield doesn't have to be. Get it fixed now and pay later with flexible payment options only at SafeLight.com.
Hi, I'm Demola, CEO of Red Lobster. It's a new day, and we're making changes we think you'll be happy with. For starters, we're bringing back some fan favorites.
Puppies.
Yo, they're back. And there's plenty under 20 on the menu. Plus, happy hour $5 drinks and appetizer deals. One thing that won't be changing, these Cheddar Bay biscuits. We got that right the first time. Welcome back.
We ran a promotion cutting the price of Mint Unlimited in half. And it was so popular, we're doing it again. It's like a sequel that's actually as good as the original. Maybe better. Definitely not worse. Okay, it's exactly the same.
At Bob's, furniture heroes like Laura for merchandising make sure you can get wireless charging, luxury upholstery, and hidden storage in our modular fob and still only pay $2.50 per piece. Not all heroes wear capes. Thanks, Laura.
Oh my.
When I started Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses, I needed a website. And GoDaddy Hero used to say hi to make a beautiful website so fast it'll blow my customers' noggins. While they're shopping for noggins for their noggins.
Party's over. But I still have customers.
Keep the fun going.
If you're living with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis or active psoriatic arthritis, symptoms can sometimes hold you back. But now, there's Skyrizi, so you can be all in with clear skin. With Skyrizi, you can show up with dramatically clearer skin. And if you have psoriatic arthritis, Skyrizi can help you move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight that may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
Magic is back on TNT. Cue the door with The Librarians, cable's biggest drama premiere of the year. Get hooked on the adventure with a magic all its own. Shallow The Librarians, all new Mondays at 9 on TNT.
Remember, if I've
We've got another line to go to.
alrighty wipes. I think it is, right?
Sounds like you're running wild. Now they can make a darn good living.
Mark and Florence Unger appear to have an ideal marriage.
On the surface, they would appear to be the perfect couple, living in an affluent community with 2 beautiful children, a beautiful house. But those who were in their inner circle, they knew that there were many, many problems.
Mark Unger's issues with drugs and gambling had cost him his job.
He was a pathological gambler. Mark was an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. This was affecting his personality.
He spent as much as 6 months at a time in rehab.
Florence actually said at one point it almost seemed like rehabilitation had become his job.
Police also learned that Florence had filed for divorce 2 months before her death and had moved on to another relationship.
There was evidence of a relationship that Flo had become involved in. And this individual was a close friend of Mark's as well. So it was a difficult circumstance at best.
Investigators discovered that Florence had seen this man just a few days before her death, and that Mark might have known about it.
I believe on that deck that it's a very real possibility that something about Florence's relationship came out.
And now, yet another potential motive emerged. Florence had 2 life insurance policies with a combined value of $750,000, and Mark was the sole beneficiary.
There's
How
no
do they let you do that?
Flo was worth more dead to
I'd be scared shitless if like someone had a life insurance policy on me.
Just 5 days before
You know what
his
I mean?
wife's death, Mark had a run of bad luck at a local
Like
casino.
you see if it's like a spouse or something, but it's like
$7,000 shortly before
what?
the fateful trip.
A random friend?
And I mean within days of that fateful trip.
And friends told investigators Florence didn't want to take the trip to the lake. In fact, she was afraid to go.
Flo's friends were all apprehensive. Several of her friends asked her, why are you doing this? Why are you going up there?
She did not want to know. She was afraid to go. She would go to the neighbor.
And if that weren't enough, the resort owner gave police even more evidence, also circumstantial. He said when he told Mark he had found Florence's body, Mark didn't ask him where it was.
The resort owner absolutely positively testified that he did not tell Mark where Florence was.
But Mark appeared to know exactly where to go.
Mark ran right to Florence's body, lying in the water, without being told where she was at, and without being able to observe her from his vantage point.
To prove this, investigators placed a mannequin in the water exactly where Florence's body was found. Then, an investigator with a video camera stood at the exact spot where the resort owner told Mark his wife was dead. In this videotape, it's clear the body can't be seen until the viewer is virtually on top of it.
He knew exactly where the body was at.
But none of this proved murder. In fact, investigators had no direct evidence linking Mark to Florence's death. That is, until they looked at Mark Unger's shoes and found a white smear.
State Police Crime Lab found a white speck with a, I believe was paint.
Investigators sent Mark Shue, along with 6 different paint samples collected from the resort, to forensic scientist Keith Lamont.
I received several known samples from various locations from the vacation home and boathouse area.
He bombarded the sample with infrared light, which identifies the chemical makeup of the samples in ways that can then be measured.
Paint's composition basically consists of a solvent, which is the liquid, a pigment.
Yeah, use the part of a dude wipe, at least like a clean.
Lamont found that the paint on Mark Unger's shoe was obliterated and the post holding the weight.
Was consistent chemically with the known paint.
Investigators, this pointed to only one logical conclusion.
And the pink stuff on the shoe certainly would suggest that.
But was this enough to conviction?
Doing the light and everything, so I can see it wasn't going back for a second. I'm putting my cap, and then I'll get like, baby, good night, Sponge, official. You want to lift stuff up? Yeah. So I have this on, I'll turn the TV off, the TV light.
turn your ringer off, babe?
He tells me. I don't think he got times. I wish he would miss it any time because I had notification on the way off. So,
Good night, babe.
yeah, I can't really want to do a window actually.
What?
Where do you want me to do a window?